is a beautiful and powerful chapter in the King James Version, KJV, of the Bible. It is often referred to as a song of praise and triumph. Here are verses 1 to 35 with explanations. Verse 1. Let God arise. Let his enemies be scattered. Let them also that hate him flee before him. Meaning, this verse begins with the call for God to rise up in power and scatter his enemies. It expresses the idea that when God is active and present, his enemies are defeated and flee in fear. Verse 2. As smoke is driven away, so drive them away. As brass melteth before the fire, so let the wood perish at the presence of God. Meaning, the imagery here counts power to dissipate his enemies. Smoke is dispersed by the wind, and how wax melts when exposed to fire. It emphasizes the idea that the wicked cannot stand before the overwhelming presence of God. Verse 3. But let the righteous be glad. Let them rejoice before God. Yea, let them exceedingly rejoice. Meaning, in contrast to the fate of the wicked, righteous are encouraged to be glad and rejoice in the presence of God. This verse highlights the joy and happiness that come from being in the right relationship with God. Verse 4. Sing unto God, sing praises to his name, extol him that rideth upon the heavens by his name JH, and rejoice before him. Meaning, the psalmist calls on people to sing praises to God and to exalt his name. The reference to JH is another way of referring to Yahweh, the covenant name of God in the Hebrew Bible. The image of God riding upon the heavens symbolizes his majesty and power. Verse 5. A father of the fatherless and a judge of the widows is God in his holy habitation. Meaning, this verse highlights God's care and concern for the vulnerable in society, such as orphans and widows. It portrays God as a loving father to those who lack earthly support and as a just judge who defends the helpless. Verse 6. God setteth the solitary families. He bringeth out those which are bound with chains, but the rebellious dwell in a dry land. Meaning, God is depicted as a unifier and liberator. He brings lonely individuals into loving communities, families, and he releases those who are imprisoned or oppressed. On the other hand, those who rebel against God may experience spiritual desolation. Verse 7. O God, when thou wentest forth before thy people, when thou didst march through the wilderness, Selah. Meaning, this verse references the historical context of God leading the Israelites through the wilderness during their exodus from Egypt. Selah is believed to be a musical notation or pause in the psalm, encouraging reflection on what has been said. Verse 8. The earth shook, the heavens also dropped at the presence of God. Even Sinai itself was moved at the presence of God, the God of Israel. Meaning, this verse recalls the awe-inspiring events that occurred when God led the Israelites. It mentions how the earth trembled, the heavens poured down rain, and Mount Sinai quaked when God manifested his presence. This serves as a reminder of God's awesome power. Verses 9 to 10. Thou, O God, didst send a plentiful rain, whereby thou didst confirm thine inheritance when it was weary. The congregation have dwelt therein, thou, O God, hast prepared of thy goodness for the poor. Meaning, here, the psalmist praises God for providing rain to refresh the land, ensuring the sustenance of his people when they're tired and weary. It also emphasizes God's provision for the poor and needy, highlighting his benevolence. Verse 11, the Lord gave the word, great was the company of those that published it. Meaning, this verse likely refers to God giving a command or message, and many messengers or preachers proclaiming it. It signifies the spread of God's word and his divine message to a multitude of people. Verse 12, kings of armies did flee apace, and she that tarried at home divided the spoil. Meaning, this verse suggests that when God's word went forth, even powerful kings and armies were forced to flee in fear. Those who remained behind enjoyed the spoils of victory, emphasizing the triumph of God's people. Verse 13, though ye have lion among the pot, yet shall ye be as the wings of the dove covered with silver, and her feathers with yellow gold. Meaning, this verse uses metaphorical language to describe a transformation from a humble and lowly state, lion cooking pot, to one of beauty and splendor, like a dove covered with silver and gold. It symbolizes God's ability to uplift and glorify his people. Verse 14, when the Almighty scattered kings in it, it was white as snow and salmon. Meaning, this verse suggests that when God defeated and scattered the kings in the land, it became as pure and white as snow. Salmon was likely a prominent mountain or region known for its white, snowy appearance. Verse 15, the hill of God is as the hill of Bashan, a high hill as the hill of Bashan. Meaning, this verse describes the hill of God as being as impressive and high as the hill of Bashan, known for its elevation. It underscores the majesty of God's dwelling place. Verse 16, why lead ye high hills? This is the hill which God desireth to dwell in. Yea, the Lord will dwell in it forever. Meaning, the high hills are depicted as rejoicing at the presence of God, recognizing that God has chosen this hill, likely referring to Mount Zion in Jerusalem, as his dwelling place forever. It emphasizes the eternal nature of God's presence in his chosen sanctuary. Verse 17, the chariots of God are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them, and Sinai in the holy place.
You see Mikhail Bridges, you see Cam Johnson, you see Brandon Ingram. All of these players have been having the weight of expectations on their shoulders.
What impresses people about Italy is the passion and heart that the team plays with. They're really together. It's a team that can really play, score from the perimeter.
Verse 18. Thou hast ascended on high.
Starts to look and is able to get in. And a little bit of English gets the ball to go in.
Gifts for men, day for the rebellious
Edwards
also.
Into the paint, gets it to Hart. And Jackson gets it and goes up and scores.
This
Edwards
verse is
harassing
often
Spisu.
seen as a
Melly goes in for the dunk.
It speaks of
Jeff,
God
traditionally,
ascending to
Italy
a
is an
high
excellent pick and roll
place
team,
and
so it's no
taking
surprise they
captivity
attack.
captive.
With
Which may be
Pasecco on the bench,
understood
Tonu.
as Christ's
Remember,
victory
Banchero,
over
I mean, it's
sin
inescapable,
and death.
especially if you're watching in Italy.
It
He could have
also
played for them.
highlights the
And
idea
Tonu
of God
scores
giving
over
gifts to
Banchero
humanity,
here at the beginning of the game.
even to
Hart now,
those who
Bridges
were
open for three,
rebellious.
and he misses.
In order for presence to
But
dwell
the
among
offensive
them.
rebounds going the
Verse
way of the
19.
USA, and Bridges is
Blessed be the
fouled.
Lord,
But he's got an
who
and one
raiseth us
cover.
with benefits, even the God of our salvation. Selah. meaning this verse praises God for his daily blessings.
Hi everyone. Hey guys, for everybody watching right now.
Particularly the gift of salvation. Seal is once again a musical notation, encouraging reflection on God's abundant blessings. Verse 20. Yet our God is the God of salvation, and unto God the Lord belong the issues from death. This verse reinforces the idea that God is the source of salvation, and He has the power over life and death. It emphasizes God's sovereignty in matters of life and death. Verse 21, but God shall wound the head of his enemies, and the hairy scalp of such a one as goeth on still in his trespasses. Meaning, this verse speaks of God's judgment upon his enemies.
These are quickly to Tonu.
Symbolized
and
by
doesn't settle.
their heads.
Drives in for the
It
layup.
underscores that those
Oh
who
boy, tough
persist
pass for
in
Fontecchio at his feet.
sinful ways
Now
are
Banchero
faced
able to get it to
divine
Edwards.
consequences.
Brunson from the right
Verse
corner.
22,
Good.
the Lord said,
Excellent
I
contest
will
from
bring
Ingram.
again from Bashan. I will bring
And Halliburton
people
pulls up on the
again
break.
from the depths of the sea.
.67.
Meaning,
And that's
here,
amazing.
Number one.
Yes,
God
catch and shoot.
expresses his intention
And Brandon Ingram
to
goes
gather
down.
people from various places, including the heights of Bashan
Austin
and the
Reeves steps back.
depths of the sea.
It's good.
This reflects God's commitment to
Grant Hill likes what he
redeeming and
sees.
uniting his people.
Italy's Olympic team.
Verse 23,
Here's Fontecchio.
that thy foot may
Trying
dip
to find some
in the
space.
blood of thy
Reeves goes past,
enemies.
and it doesn't matter. Fontecchio shows us the talent.
Of thy arms in the same. Meaning, this
Nice
verse
pass to
portrays a
Portis.
vivid image of victory,
Halliburton.
Plays
where God's
freer.
people will triumph over their enemies to the extent that their feet will be dipped in the blood of those foes.
He's just 21 years of age.
It's
Where's number 50 for the Italians?
symbolized as a
And it's
decisive
Banchero, and the layup is good.
and complete
But now, with
victory.
Jaron Jackson into the game, let's
Verse
see how the USA pick and roll
24.
coverage can stop
They
this
have
Italian
seen
team.
Oh,
thy
the bounce
doing,
pass to
O
Hart.
God. Even the goings of my
And
God,
Melly flying in
my
for the
King,
rebound.
in the sanctuary. Meaning,
Richie, the ball slipped
the
out of his
psalmist
hands.
declares
And puts
that
it up and
God's
in.
people have witnessed his majestic presence, particularly in sanctuary or temple.
And Bridges
It emphasizes
gets it at the other end.
and reverence
Smaller lineup,
of
put a body on
the
somebody.
worshiper.
Control your defensive
Verse
boards.
25.
Tonu bounce pass, and
The
Melly.
singers win
Play for
before.
Italy.
The players on instruments followed after. Among them with the damsels
Now Bridges.
playing with timbrels. Meaning, this verse describes the joyful and celebratory nature of worship, where singers
Here's
and
Bridges from
musicians
deep. Oh, boy.
lead the
It's not looking good for Italy.
and young women
The United States has a
play
great game plan, switching these
tambourines.
screens. They're really
Reflects
contesting.
the festive
as we see
atmosphere
the 2-3
during
zone now.
religious gatherings.
And a bounce pass to Banchero, and he knows what to do with it.
Blessed
Post
be God
just
in
fading
the
with every
congregations,
jump shot.
even
Quick
Lord,
pass to
from
Banchero,
the famine of
and he
Israel.
is denied by Fontecchio.
People
The United
are
States using this
encouraged
1-2-2
to
half-court
bless
trap
and
to
praise
slow down
God in
Italy.
their gatherings or congregations,
Forced a turnover. Here's
acknowledging
Halliburton.
him as the source
Oh, he banks it
of
in.
their identity
The
and
bank is open.
blessings.
Here's Melly.
Often referred to as the
Outside.
famine of Israel.
Tonu drives in, and
Verse
finally Italy get a
27.
basket.
There is little Benjamin with their ruler, the
Sisu, player that
princes
can
of
get
Judah
hot.
and their
He needs
council.
to. Here he is,
the
driving and
princes
scoring.
of
Maybe
Judah
just a little
and the
layup will
prince
help
of
him.
Naphtali, meaning this verse mentions
Bridges from the
various
right.
tribes
Another
of Israel,
three-pointer for the USA.
including Benjamin,
Oh,
Judah,
Halliburton keeps it that
Zebulun,
time.
and Naphtali, and their
Halliburton.
leaders.
Oh,
It
the
likely
ball put back
represents the
jam.
unity of
from Austin Reeves.
Who saw that coming?
Controlling
the game early.
By God have commanded by strength.
Italy might be able to mount a charge here and change the narrative here in the third quarter. Maybe. Bridges, Edwards, Brunson, all on the court. Jackson, as well as Hart. Here's Edwards. And not what Italy would have liked.
Calls on God to continue strengthening and supporting
Fontecchio with a little runner.
And that's encouraging for Italy.
Verse 29, because of thy temple, Jerusalem shall kings bring presents unto thee. Meaning, this verse anticipates that because of the significance of God's temple in Jerusalem, kings and rulers from other nations will come to offer gifts and tribute God. Verse 3.
Zapier just integrated with OpenAI, and this is going to change the game for businesses and content creators. There's an infinite number of automations we can make with Zapier and this new AI tool. Let me show you one of the coolest ones. I integrated Zapier with OpenAI and Notion to help me brainstorm content scripts automatically. So now whenever I jot an idea down in Notion, 3 scripts are automatically written using artificial intelligence. Go to Zapier.com and set up some free automations using their OpenAI integration.
Do and scatter the warlike nations and peoples who oppose him, even to the point of making them submit with offerings of silver. It emphasizes God's authority over conflicts and his desire for peace.
A sale like no other. TikTok's mega sales. This is the perfect time to boost your sales. When more customers are likely to say bye to their budgets and buy. So, take your business to the next level. Get your brand into the spotlight. Use TikTok Ads Manager for maximum results.
Egypt and Ethiopia will turn to God in worship and acknowledgement of his greatness. It represents the universal appeal and reach of God's glory. Verse 32. Sing unto God, ye kingdoms of the earth. O sing praises unto the Lord. Selah, meaning. This verse encourages all the
Edwards
nations
passes to Bridges.
and
Hart
kingdoms
open
of
from
the
the left.
earth
That's
to
good.
sing praises to God.
2-3 zone after the free throws.
Selah indicates a pause for reflection.
Bridges puts
on
up
the
his three.
significance of the call to worship.
Polonara.
Verse
It's in
33.
and gets blocked by
For him
Edwards.
that rideth upon the heavens.
And now the pass.
Which revolve.
Stolen by Fontecchio, and the Utah Jazz man dunks it. 13 points now for Fontecchio. He's heating up. Bridges for 3. Good.
God is depicted as
He looks over.
of the highest heavens, and his voice is described as mighty and powerful. It emphasizes God's authority over all creation. Verse 34, ascribe ye strength unto God. His excellency is over Israel, and his strength is in the clouds. Meaning, this verse calls on people to acknowledge and attribute strength to God, highlighting his excellence and his power, which is manifested even in the clouds and the sky. Verse 35, O God, thou art terrible out of thy holy places. The God of Israel is he that giveth strength and power unto his people. Blessed be God, meaning, the song concludes by acknowledging Psalm 68 is a beautiful and powerful chapter in the King James Version, KJV, of the Bible. It is often referred to as a song of praise and triumph. Here are verses 1 to 35 with explanations. Verse 1. To exalt his name, God, a reference to JH, let his inner way of me be scanned to Yahweh at the covenant name of God, the Hebrew Bible. Them all the image of God and thinketh before heavens, simply symbolizing this is majesty begins power. Call for 5. God to rise up in power of the fatherless, scatter judge the widows. Is God in His holy habitation? Is the idea thing. This verse highlights God's care present concern. His enemies are defeated, vulnerable, and flee inside here. Such as orphans is driven away. It portrays God as a loving father to those before the lack of flee support. So let the wicked perish at the presence of God, the helpless. Verse 6. God here compares God's power to families. Dissipate His enemies. He bringeth out those which are bound with chains by the wind, and wax melts well in a dry land. To fire. God is depicted as a unified the idea that the wicked liberator cannot stand. He brings only individuals into the community. Verse 3. But let the righteous be those who are imprisoned or oppressed. On the other hand, before those who rebel against God may exceedingly experience spiritual meaning desolation. In contrast to the 7 of the wicked, when the righteous are encouraged to be people glad and rejoice in the presence of God. Wilderness. This verse highlights the joy and happiness that come from references the historical relationship of God leading the Israelites through the wilderness during their exit to His from Egypt. Extol Him. Selah is believed to be a musical name or pause in the psalm and rejoice before Him. Reflection on what the psalmist calls on people to sing praises to God and to exalt His name. The reference to JH is another way of referring to Yahweh. Even the name of God in the Hebrew Bible, presence of God. Image of the God riding Israel upon the heavens symbolizes His verse recalls the power. Verse 5. Instead of a father of the fatherless, the Israelites, of the widow. It mentions has God tried in His holy the head poured down rain. In Mount Sinai quaked when God manifested His presence. This serves as a reminder of God's awesome power, such as verses 9 to 10. Thou, O God, portrays God as the loving Father to those whereby Thou didst confirm Thine inheritance, which it was defends the helpless. The congregation have 6. God said at the solitary and hast prepared of Thy goodness for the bringeth out those which are bound with chains. The psalmist praised the rebellious were providing dry land to refresh the land. God is depicted as a unifier of His people when tired brings lonely individuals and also emphasize music. God's provision for the poor and needy. Highlighting His benevolence. Prison, verse 11. The Lord gave them. On the other hand, great was the company of those God may experience spiritual desolation. This verse likely refers to God giving a command when His message forth before the many messengers or preachers proclaiming the wilderness. Sniff the spread of God's word and His divine. This verse references the historical context of God leading kings of armies did flee through the wilderness and during their tarried at home from Egypt the spoil. Selah is believed to be a musical note suggests that when God's word went forth, reflection even on powerful kings and armies were forced to flee in fear. The earth shook. Those who the heavens also dried and enjoyed the God. Even Sinai itself was moved at the presence of the triumph of God, the God of Israel. Meaning 13. This verse recalls among the inspiring events that occurred when God led the Israelites covered with silver. It mentions how the earth trembled with the heavens poured down rain. Meaning in Mount this verse uses when God manifested His presence to describe a transformation of God's awesome power. Lowly state. Verses 9 to 10. Cooking pot. Thou, O God, didst send a plentiful rain. Like where could have cut out with silver and gold thine inheritance is God's ability to uplift Thy congregation has dwelt therein. Verse 14. God has prepared Thy goodness for the kings in it. Meaning it was white as snow. The psalmist praises God for providing rain. This verse suggests that when God defeated ensuring and scattered the kings in the land, people when they are tired and weary. It also emphasizes God's provision for the poor and needy. Was likely a prominent mountain or region known for verse 11, snowy appearance. The Lord gave, verse 15, great was the company of those as the hill of Bashan. Meaning, a high hill as the hill of likely refers to God giving this command or describes and many messengers or preachers proclaiming impressive and high as the spread of God's word known for its elevation. It underscores the majesty of God's dwelling place. Verse 12, verse 16, kings of armies did flee at pace, ye high hills, and she that this is the hill which God desireth to dwell in. Meaning, the Lord will dwell in it forever. When God's word went the high hill, even powerful kings as rejoicing at the presence of God, and recognizing that God had those who remained behind to enjoy the spoils of victory in Jerusalem, emphasizing the triumph of God's people. It emphasizes the eternal nature of God's presence among the chosen sanctuary. It shall be as the wings of a dove covered with chariots of God with yellow gold. Even meaning, this verse uses metaphorical language is which to describe but a transformation from a humble, holy lowly state, lying among cooking pots. Verse is one of Beaton's heavenly army of chariots covered with silver and gold, and God symbolizes God's ability to uphold and back to glorify his real. Verse 14, now when the Almighty scattered kings, holiness was white as snow and salmon. Verse 18. This verse suggested that when God defeated and scattered the kings in the land,
and a little bit of English gets the ball to go in.
For men. Samson was likely a prominent part in a region known for its white Lord
and Jackson gets it and goes up and scores.
God is as the hill of Bashan. The high hill is the
Belly
hill of
goes
Bashan.
in for the dunk.
It speaks of
Jeff,
God's
traditionally,
mercy
Italy
to
is an
high
excellent
hill of
pick and roll
God
team,
as
so
being
it's no
as
surprise they
impressive
attack.
high as the hill of Bashan, which may be
Prosecco on the
known
bench,
for
Toto.
civilization.
Remember, Banchero, I mean, it is capable, especially if you're watching in Italy. He could have played for them. And Toto scores over Banchero here at the beginning of the game. Hard now, Bridges open for three, and he missed.
In order for the Lord to dwell in
Offensive rebounds going the way of the USA, and Bridges is fouled. So he's got to have one cover.
Recognizing that God has chosen the God of our likely referring to Mount Zion in Jerusalem, meaning as his dwelling place forever. It emphasizes the eternal nature of God's presence in his chosen sanctuary.
Hi everyone. Hey guys, for everybody watching right
Particularly
now.
the gift of salvation, God are one of his once again given thousands of angels, encouraging reflection on them. God as in Sinai, in the holy place. Meaning, this verse envisions a heavenly army of chariots that's symbolizing God's divine forces. Harkens back to the imagery of God's presence at the Mount Sinai, long his holiness was revealed. Verse 18. Thou hast ascended up on high, thou hast led captivity captive. Thou hast received source of salvation, and he has rebellious also over life, that the Lord and death. God might dwell among them. God's sovereign meaning and matter. This verse is often seen as a messianic prophecy. It speaks of God ascending into a high place and taking the captivities captives. One as may be understood as Christ's victory over sin and death. It also highlights the idea of God giving gifts to humanity. Speaks even to those who are rebellious upon his, in order for his presence to dwell among symbolized by presenting their head.
Drives in for the layup.
Blessings of the Lord, those who
tough pass for Fontecchio at speed.
with us.
Now Banchero able to get it to Edwards.
Brunson
from the right corner. Good.
This verse praises God for his daily blessing will bring benefits from particularly the salvation.
Halliburton pulls up on the break.
Once again, use of this stage, encouraging reflection on God's abundant blessing. Express verses 20.
Brandon Ingram goes down.
Is the God of salvation. From very unto God, the Lord along the issues from heights of bash meaning.
Austin Reed,
This verse of reinforces the idea that God is
concerned. Grant Hill likes what he sees.
He has the power over life. Verse 23. It emphasizes God's sovereignty in matters of life and death.
And it doesn't matter. Fontecchio shows us the talent.
God showed on the head of his enemies and the hairy scalp of such one as good on fortunes of devil image of trespassing. Where God's people will try first speaks in God's judgment upon his enemies. Seed will symbolize by blooding their heads. It underscores that those who persist in their sinful ways will face divine consequences. Verse 20,
but now with Jared Jackson into the game, let's see how
bring
USA
again
pick and roll
from Bashan.
I
will bring
the bounce pass to Hart.
Even the goings of my God. God expresses his intentions to gather his people from various places. The sun in the heights of God's and the depths of his witness. This reflects God's commitment to redeeming, particularly in sanctuaries people temple. Verse 20 emphasizes that thy foot may be dipped in
smaller
the blood
lineup,
of
put a body on somebody, control your defensive verse.
25.
Pass and Melly.
This verse
Play for Italy.
declares toward God's people all will triumph over their enemies. Among them with the extent that their feet will be dipped in the blood of those foes. Meaning, it is symbolized by joyful and complete celebratory nature of worship. Verse 24.
Bridges from deep. Oh boy! It's not looking good for Italy.
My God,
States has a great game plan, switching these screens. They're really contesting.
The psalmist declared during religious gathering
Bounce pass to Fontecchio, and he knows what to do with it.
particularly God in the sanctuary of the temple.
Jump shot.
Even
Quick
the
pass to
size of his
Fontecchio.
fountain and of his
And he
river
is
felt by the word
Denied by Fontecchio.
Verse 25.
States using this
Encourage
1-2-2
singers win
half
his
court
for
trap
and pray
to
the
slow
players
down
on
Italy.
instruments follow after or among them with the damsels
Force the
playing
turnover.
with timbrels,
Here's Halliburton.
acknowledging him as the sword.
Oh, he banks it
This
in.
verse
The bank is open.
joyful and
Here's Melly.
celebratory nature of worship was
Toto
where singers
drives
and
in, and
musicians
finally Italy get a basket.
and young women played tambourines. Little Benjamin reflects the festive atmosphere during the religious gatherings of Judah and verse 26.
Here he is, driving and
Blessing
scoring.
God
Maybe
and
just a
the
little layup will help
congregation
him.
of even the Lord, meaning fountain of this verse mentions
Bridges from the
very
right. Another three-pointer for the USA.
praise God in the
Halliburton
gatherings
keeps it
of
that time.
congregations, acknowledging
Halliburton
them as the
leader.
source of
Oh!
identity.
Put back jam from Austin Reed.
Who saw that coming? Controlling the game
There
early.
is little Benjamin
This
with
the
the
tip
really
cover.
strength.
Italy might
Princes
be
of
able to mount a
Judah
charge
and
here
their
and
council,
change the narrative here in the
princes
third
of
quarter.
Zebah
Maybe.
and the
Bridges,
princes
Edwards,
of
Brunson, all on the
Naphtali.
court. Jackson.
Psalmist
As well as Hart, here's Edwards.
various tribes of
Not
the
good.
Lord,
What Italy would have liked.
calls on Judah, God to keep continue strengthening and supporting
Fontecchio with a little runner.
That's encouraging for
likely
Italy.
represents the unity of the Israelite people. Thy worship, Jerusalem, verse 28, presents thy God have commanded me thy strength. This verse anticipates that because of that which thou hast of God's temple in Jerusalem, meaning kings and rulers acknowledges the nation God is the source of their offered gifts and calls on God to continue strengthening and so.
Zapier just integrated with OpenAI, and this is going to change the game for businesses and content creators. There's an infinite number of automations we can make with Zapier and this new AI tool. Let me show you one of the coolest ones. I integrated Zapier with OpenAI and Notion to help me brainstorm content scripts automatically. So now whenever I jot an idea down in Notion, 3 scripts are automatically written using artificial intelligence. Go to Zapier.com and set up some free automations using their OpenAI integration.
The multitude of symbols with the calves of the nation, peoples, will everyone submit him even to the point of making silver, submit, scattered without offerings of people that delight in war. It emphasizes God here. The psalmist calls conflicts God to subdue and scatter the warlike nations and
A
peoples.
sale like no other. TikTok's mega sales.
To the point of making
This
them
is the perfect time to boost your sales.
silver.
When more customers
Emphasizes
are likely
God's
to say
authority
buy
over
to their
coverage,
budgets and buy.
desire for peace.
So take your
Verse
business to the
31.
next level. Put your
Princes
brand
shall
into
come
the
out of these
spotlight.
verse
Use TikTok Ads Manager for maximum results.
Hands reach unto God in Ethiopia will turn to God in worship and acknowledge that leaders from Egypt greatness in Ethiopia represent to God the universal worship and acknowledgement of God's great glory. It represents the universal unto God and ye kingdoms of the earth, O glory. Sing praises verse unto the Lord. Sing unto God, ye kingdoms of the earth, O sing praises unto the Lord. Encourage Selah, all the nations.
Passes the bridge.
This
verse
verse
encourages
all the nations. Praise the kingdoms of God. To sing praises to God. Once again, Selah indicates pause for reflection on the significance of all to worship. All to verse 33. Through him that rideth upon the heavens of heaven, through him that rideth on the heavens of heaven,
now the pass, stolen by Fontecchio, and the Utah Jazz man dunks it.
Throned above the
13 points now for Fontecchio. He's heating up. Bridges for three. Good. He looks over.
Over all creation. Voice is described as mighty and powerful. Described it emphasizes God's for his excellence over all creation. Over verse 34. And his strength is in the cloudy strength of God. This excellency is over his will to acknowledge and attribute is in the strength to God, highlighting this excellence and his power, which is manifested even in the clouds and the sky to God. Verse 30, highlighting his excellence and his power. Thou art terrible, manifested even in the clouds of God, and not of Israel, that giveth strength and power unto his people. O God, blessed be God, terrible out of thy holy. The song concludes by acknowledging God's real inspiring nature, especially in his holy place power unto his people. It reiterates, blessed God is the source of strength. And the song concludes by acknowledging with a final blessing, praising and exalting God. Psalm 68 is a beautiful and powerful chapter in the King James Version. KJV power of the Bible is often referred to as a song of praise and victory triumph over enemies. Here are verses 1 is rolled as the 35 with explanations and salvation for people. Verse 1. It also looks forward to a time when the revelation to JH and acknowledge in a way of God is being scanned Yahweh. The covenant name of God, the Hebrew Bible, them all the edge of God rising before heavens, simply symbolizes this is majesty begins power. Call for 5 God to rise up in the power of the fatherless, scatter judge in the widows. Is God and it is holy habitation is the idea thing. This verse highlights God's care present concern. His enemies are defeated, vulnerable, flee inside here. Such as orphans is driven away. It portrays God as a loving father to those before the lack of flee support. So let the wicked perish at the presence of God, the helpless. Verse 6. God's here compares God's power to families. Dissipate his enemies. He bringeth out those which are bound with chains by the wind, and wax melts well in a dry land. To fire. God is depicted as a unified the idea that the wicked liberator cannot stand. He brings only individuals coming presence of God. Community. Verse 3. But let the righteous those who are imprisoned or oppressed them on the other hand before those who rebel against God may exceedingly rejoice. Spiritual meaning desolation. In contrast to the 7 the wicked, when the righteous are encouraged to thy people glad and rejoice in the presence of God. Wilderness. This verse highlights the joy and happiness that come from references the historical relationship of God leading the Israelites through the wilderness during their exodus from Egypt. Extol him that is believed upon the heavens by name or paused in the psalm and rejoice before him. Reflection on what the psalmist calls on people to sing praises to God and to exalt his name. The reference to JH is another way of referring to Yahweh. Each kind of name of God in the Hebrew Bible, presence of God. image of the God riding his veil upon the heavens symbolizes his verse where majesty's the power. Verse 5. Instead, a father of the fatherless, the Israelites, of the widow, it mentions has God in his holy the head poured down rain, and Mount Sinai quaked when God manifested his presence. This serves as a reminder of God's awesome power, such as verses 9 to 10. Thou, O God, portrays God didst send loving Father to those whereby thou didst confirm thine inheritance, which was defends the helpless. The congregation verse 6. God said of the solitary and hast prepared of thy goodness for the bringeth out those which are bound with chains. The psalmist praised the rebellious were providing dry rain to refresh the land. God is depicted as a unifier of his people when tired brings lonely individuals and also emphasize unity. God's provision for the poor and needy, and highlighting his those who are prison. Verse 11. The Lord gave the on the other hand, great was the company of those that published experienced spiritual desolation. This verse likely refers to God giving a command when his or message forth before the many messengers or preachers proclaiming the wilderness. It sniffs the spread of God's word and his divine. This verse references the historical context of God leading kings of armies did flee through the wilderness and during their tarry at home from Egypt. The spoil. Selah is believed